Hi everyone and welcome to Radull Live. Today we're on location at the Wadi Degla clubs in Kiambu. I'm with the team from Nairobi Jaffrey's Academy and they are hosting scouts from Southampton, yes, from the English Premier League. I want to find out more about that for you, so come with me. The sun is shining, the kids are playing and they know they are being watched. So joining us on Radull Live is the principal of Nairobi Jaffrey's, Sigve Auster. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And a scout from Southampton, yes, Nathan Cornick. Hi Nathan, how are you doing?
I'm very well, how are you?
Karibu Kenya, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Karibu Kenya.
thank you.
I hope he's taught you Karibu means welcome.
Yeah.
So I'll start with you, Sigve. You are here, you're based in Nairobi, you run the Jaffrey's Academy. You have a partnership with Southampton. We all know about Southampton. How did that partnership come about?
Well, we've tried for a while. We had this idea of involving the school with a club, and about just over a year ago we started discussions, and we felt Southampton was a very good fit, actually for any school, because of their values. So what they call the Southampton way. And also their idea of turning potential into excellence. So all this fits very well in with what a school really does.
Yes, and Southampton is a Premier League club. So this is huge, by the way. I'm not sure if you realize this is huge for Kenya to have this type of partnership. So Nathan, you've been here for a couple of days.
Yeah.
What are your initial views about the program, the football youth program at Jaffrey's Academy?
Like Sigve just said, really good, really positive. I think, just to echo what Sigve said as well, obviously pairing with the Jaffrey Academy, because they have very similar values, beliefs to us and behaviours that we try to demonstrate at the football club. But yeah, it's a really good program. There's some good coaches around the players at the Jaffrey Academy. It looks like they're having a really positive experience of their football, and they seem to be improving and developing all the time. So yeah, it's been a good few days.
So what exactly are you looking for as a scout, as an international scout, when you come to Africa? What exactly are you looking for, and what age group?
Yeah, so it's multiple age groups. So we've got players here as young as 13, as old as 16, 17. And there's a number of things we look for, but I think the biggest thing for me is that game impact, that they're playing to their strengths and they're showing them on the pitch. If they're really good at dribbling, we want to see that. We want to see what their strengths are. If they're really good at finishing or striking, we want to see that within the game. So it's really down to their game impact, that what we're really looking for, and the impact they can have on that game.
Sigve, what is your end goal in this program? Because I know everybody, education first, but the values of sport. What is your end game in developing the football program and getting the partnership with Southampton?
Well, we're looking at several areas really. We also want to implement the Southampton values in all our PE education. So the physical education in general, the Southampton values, not only for football but across PE from early years, primary, all the way up to secondary. Instilling those values in the students we think is very, very valuable. And then we will also use that as a base to recruit students into our elite program. We would also like players from other parts of Nairobi or even Kenya to come and join the elite academy. It's not necessarily so that they become a Premier League player. I mean, they're good, they like football, they should enjoy their football, but at the same time education comes first for us, even in the elite academy. And if they can't make it into professional football, then we will help them getting a degree at university where so for instance they can Any Kenyan can study in Germany in English, doing a bachelor degree for free. So that you have sports management in Germany, you have engineering, you can study in England, you can study in Italy, wherever they want to study and go into sports. Even if they don't, as I said, make it to professional football, they can study law and work in a legal department of a football club. They can study physiotherapy and work with a club. They can study business or marketing. So there are loads of opportunities within sports or within football, even if they don't make it into professional football. I think worldwide there are roughly 130,000 players who live off of professional football. That might sound like a lot of people, but at the end it's a very difficult thing to manage.
You know, you've touched on something that I wish, and I don't want to make this a political show, but I wish our government saw the possibilities in sport. It's not just about the person who's kicking that ball. There are the opportunities all around. I have been trying to tell them sport is an industry. It's not just a game, it's an industry, and I think you've touched on that. You've mentioned the word values so many times, and I just think it's amazing that sport teaches you things you can't teach in class, like hard work and focus. And so do you see that when they engage in sport, they become better human beings, essentially?
At many levels, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, it's also things like, I think we talked about it the other day, time management, for instance, dedication. Perhaps you can say something about the 10 Commandments at Southampton as well.
So at the football club, it's not just about developing the footballer, it's about developing the whole person, and we've got something called the 10 Commandments, which are almost 10 guidelines for our players that they have to adhere to, and then we've got them up on the wall in the gym and in different areas of our training ground. And obviously within that, they're not just words on the wall. We live and breathe them, and when we do our reviews with the players, obviously they make a big part of the reviews, in terms of we go over the 10 Commandments, how are they getting on with them, where do they need to improve. So yeah, just echoing what Sigve said, really it's not just about developing that player, it's developing the whole person, developing good people.
Do you have them off-head?
Off my head?
Have you crammed them?
Probably not. I probably wouldn't want to be tested on that because I probably wouldn't be able to remember them all off my head. But
I guess it's the basics you've been mentioning.
Yeah, a few examples, like Sigve said, it's about being on time, never late. We've got one that says about looking smart, play smart. So by that we mean when the players arrive, shirts tucked in, socks pulled up, clean football boots. They take a bit of pride in themselves.
Respect your game.
Yes, and one's around sort of being honest, always tell the truth. So that's a bit of a flavour of some of the 10 Commandments that we use at the football club.
Based on what you've seen, and I know it's a long shot, have you identified any player, or are you hoping to identify a player that can be accommodated in the Southampton Academy? Yeah,
so we've seen some really good players today. Obviously, this is our first day within the tournaments. Obviously, we visited some schools yesterday, and there's some technically good players. I think moving forward, the biggest challenge will be hopefully at some point they can come over to Southampton in one of our camps that Sigve's looking to organise, and then we can see them in that environment. And I think that's the biggest challenge. We can see they're doing some really good players here, but the challenge will be for them if we can get some of them across at some point to play against our players, and we can see where they fit in, gauge where they are, and obviously provide that opportunity for them to experience a different culture and a different way of playing football in a different country. So.
How long is this partnership? Is it an ongoing, is it open-ended? Or it's got a contract to it?
We have initially, we have a very long-term view with this, like 10, 15 years down the line. But it's a partnership that we've signed for 3 years now, and then it's renewable every 3 years. But we don't look at this in medium term, we look at this long term.
I know this is another long shot and probably not something you can answer, but can Southampton come and play in Nairobi?
Unfortunately, that's not my decision. But yeah, maybe ask it to the right people one day. Maybe if they see this video, maybe it'll trigger it. Maybe
tell them they have fans here. Unfortunately for you, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
But I know Arsenal has got really good players from Southampton in the Walcott and some of those players at Liverpool as well. So I mean, Southampton is known to have one of the best academies.
Yeah.
As a whole, tell us about that.
Yeah. So
how do you grade your academy?
So we're classed as a Category 1 academy, which is sort of the highest honour you can have in England. There's other clubs that have got it. We're not the only ones, but other clubs do have it. But yeah, it's really it's been tested over time. Really, the academy producing players from James Ward-Prowse, who's currently playing in our first team, doing really well, to other players that have gone on, such as Gareth Bale, who eventually went to Real Madrid, who's recently retired. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at Liverpool, as well as a host of others that we can see here.
Arsenal after
And obviously
people.
went to Arsenal as well. So yeah, a host of players that have come through, which sort of proves and shows our success. And it's not just the players that have made it at the top level. Obviously there's players that have had a great experience with our academy and gone on to have really good careers in the game, maybe in another country or even in one of the lower leagues. So that's kind of the gauge of our success, really. A bit of an example of it.
Finally, what's your opinion of Kenya as a country, and will you get a chance to tour a little bit?
Yes, I'm going out on a safari. Sigvy's
Fantastic.
is organising one on Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I've had a really good time. The people are really friendly, really pleasant, very accommodating, and it's been a really enjoyable few days, and it's good to immerse myself in a different culture, which has been enjoyable.
Because we've been trying to tell the authorities how we could use Kenya as a sports tourism, how we can market sports tourism. And I'm sure, Sigve, you will say you've been to some fantastic places in Kenya, which we're not exploiting, and we should exploit sports tourism. I think we do it with the rally, we do it with one or two other things, but we can do it with football as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Show more of Kenya. But thank you.
No.
And the greatest thing you have here, I think, is, I mean, I've lived in a lot of different countries and traveled to even more, but I've never been to a country with a climate like this. So this is absolutely the best climate I've ever been to. So it's ideal for playing football here year round.
For playing sports throughout the year.
Sports throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then you have the altitude on Nairobi. So in addition, it's like an altitude training while you're here as well. So.
And since I have you here, Sigve, what other sports programs do you have apart from football?
Yeah, so what we do, football is the main one, and we have also here the coach in the football program is the former assistant coach of Real Madrid, so he's been coaching at the very highest level with some of the world's top players. Then we do basketball, we have some students doing swimming here as well. We do volleyball, badminton, table tennis and cross-country running.
Actually, I've played badminton at the Jaffrey's Academy a few times.
Right.
But I used to play in high school a long time ago. But I've played there with some members of the Kenya team. So yeah, Jaffrey's doing really well in sports. In this program, apart from the youth, is there a way to coach coaches as well? Are you coaching coaches?
Yes, that's a part of the program as well, where we share parts of our performance plan at the football club. And then throughout the year, they obviously, in addition to these trips that we do, which is twice a year, there's opportunities for the coaches here to access our coaches library, which is an online platform which they can access and get support from. But also we do a number of live webinars with experts from within the club, and that the coaches can watch and hopefully learn something from.
Which is fantastic, because they're with the children every week, so they can grow in that way. But thank you so much. Thank you for being on Radull Live, and I wish you all the best in your week in your stay in Kenya and in the development of this partnership with Southampton.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
I'll be keeping an eye on you and seeing these players develop.
Brilliant.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
You've been listening to Sigve from Nairobi Jaffrey's Academy and Nathan from Southampton. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to speak to the Nairobi Jaffrey's coach. Here's a hint. He was assistant coach at Real Madrid once upon a time. See you after the break. Welcome back. We are live at the Wadi Degla clubs along Kiambu Road. Yes, I'm with the team from Nairobi Jaffrey's Academy and, of course, the Southampton coaches who are visiting. But now joining me is a man who was assistant coach at Real Madrid once upon a time. We're in the company of royalty. Allow me to introduce to you Manolo Ruiz. And we're going to translate it because he speaks in Spanish, but we'll translate it to you. So, how are you doing today?
¿Cómo estás hoy?
Hola, muy bien, encantado de estar aquí y bien, disfrutando de este día con los chicos.
I'm happy to be here and I'm enjoying the day with the boys and the nice weather.
Just for a bit of background, could you explain to us a bit about your international career and what has led you to be here today?
Entonces, para empezar, tu carrera de entrenar y cómo has llegado aquí a Kenia al final.
Ajá. Bien, pues yo fui jugador profesional de fútbol. Después de terminar mi carrera como jugador profesional, pues empecé como entrenador en mi ciudad natal, en Jerez, y a partir de ahí estuve 8 años entrenando en Jerez. Después estuve de segundo entrenador con Bernardo Schuster, que vino a Jerez, y de ahí luego fuimos a Levante un año, luego estuvimos 2 años en Getafe, primera división de España, donde jugamos la final de Copa del Rey, jugamos UEFA, y al año siguiente firmamos por Real Madrid, donde fuimos campeones de Liga y campeones de Supercopa de España, ¿no? Después el año siguiente estuvimos en Turquía, en Besiktas, en Estambul. Y a partir de ahí, bueno, pues empecé yo mi carrera como primer entrenador en diferentes equipos de España de segunda B, ¿no? Como Extremadura, Linense, Ejido, en fin, eso ha sido mi carrera.
Are you going to be able to translate it all? Or you can put it in a...
I think you can manage.
Okay.
You can summarize?
He was playing professional football himself. He was playing for Zaragoza and Deportivo La Coruña as a goalkeeper. And then after he finished his playing career, he became a coach. He started as an assistant coach for Bernd Schuster, who was the head coach. And they were coaching first. He was 8 years in Jerez. Then they took over Levante, and later they coached Getafe in the Spanish La Liga, where they won they won the Spanish Cup. They were then offered a contract with Real Madrid, so they were at Real Madrid for about 2 years, where they won the Spanish League and they won the Spanish Supercopa. And after Madrid, they then went to Turkey, to Besiktas. And after Besiktas, he started developing his career as a first-team coach, and he was coaching several teams in Spain, not in the top division, but in the lower divisions like Linense and Ejido.
Extremadura.
And then last year I called him and asked him if he would be interested in coming here, something which he accepted.
He accepted. Who are some of the biggest names you've worked with in football?
¿Qué jugadores son los más grandes con que
¿Qué he dirigido? ¿He trabajado? Hombre, no me gusta decir porque tengo respeto a todos, ¿no? Para mí no hay ninguno más que nadie, pero sí tengo que decir, pues normalmente los más conocidos son Iker Casillas, Sergio Ramos, Raúl, Ruth Van Nistelrooy, Robinho, Sneijder, bueno, son muchos jugadores que de un nivel importante, ¿no? Marcelo, Pepe, Fabio Cannavaro, bueno, pues son jugadores que he dirigido, pero ya te digo, para mí todos tienen el mismo respeto, estando cualquier jugador del Real Madrid para mí es lo mismo que uno del Levante o uno del Getafe, ¿no?
So what he's saying, he's worked with a lot of rather famous players. He doesn't like to pick out some of them because he respects all of them, whether they played for Levante or Getafe or Real Madrid, but some of the more famous players that he worked with, I mean, you heard the names, I don't have to...
I heard the names, yes, I heard the
Details,
names. I heard the Van Nistelrooys and the Marcelos and these big names. But I also understand that respect you have for all the players that you've played for. How has your experience been here in Nairobi?
Sí. Mi experiencia en Nairobi hasta el momento, estoy desde 1 de septiembre, es muy very good, muy importante para mí, ¿no? Porque otra cultura, otra forma, nunca había estado en África, he estado en otros continentes, en América, Europa, Oceanía, pero no en África, y es diferente cultura, diferentes costumbres, pero eso me enriquece a mí, ¿no? Quiero decir que es una motivación para mí el ver otras formas de cultura, formas de comportarse, y hasta el momento me está aportando cosas, ¿no? Está siendo una experiencia bonita para mí.
So he says since he came on the 1st of September last year, he's really enjoyed it. He's never been to Africa before, so it's his first experience in Africa. He really likes the culture. He learns a lot from the culture. It enriches him. It's a beautiful experience for him so far. He's mainly been in Europe and America, and so he really likes the experience. He really enjoys it. So far, everything is good for him.
Now further, I would like to know your experience in coaching the children at the Jaffrey's Academy.
Y ahora quiero saber tu experiencia de ser entrenador de los chicos de Jaffrey.
Bien, ya es, digamos, la primera vez que estoy en una academia, ¿no? Pues siempre he estado en equipos profesionales de fútbol del máximo nivel o del segundo nivel. Para mí es la primera experiencia a nivel de academia, pero ya te digo, me está aportando cosas y creo que me siento satisfecho de esa evolución que están teniendo los chicos, ¿no? Desde que vine en septiembre ahora creo que he visto una evolución y por eso me siento satisfecho, ¿no? Creo que le estoy aportando ideas y cosas a los chicos y de eso se trata, de aportarle cosas e ideas para que ellos desarrollen el potencial que indudablemente creo que tiene el jugador africano.
So he's saying it's the first time that he's in an academy. He's always been at professional clubs before. So it's a new experience for him, but he feels very satisfied because he can see how they develop, and when he sees then the players developing, that fills him with satisfaction as well, he said, and he wants to also see how far he can take these African or Kenyan players, because they're good. There's a lot of talent here, he feels, and it fills him with satisfaction seeing that his ideas can help them develop, and when he sees how much they have developed in the 3 or 4 months that he's been here, he's very happy, very pleased to see that.
And finally, what is the value of the Southampton partnership with Jaffrey's Academy to the work that you are already doing?
Y el valor que tiene la asociación o el partnership con Southampton, con el trabajo que tú estás aquí, que añade Southampton aquí.
Hombre, yo creo que es muy importante, ¿no? Tanto para Nairobi y Jaffrey, ¿no? Para el colegio, para los chicos, yo creo, y para Southampton. Yo creo que se benefician, digamos, las tres partes, ¿no? El colegio, los chicos y Southampton, de esta colaboración, ¿no? Porque creo que cada uno aporta esa experiencia, su trabajo, los chicos, su ilusión por ser mejores jugadores, y creo que eso para el colegio, yo diría para Nairobi, incluso para Kenia, es muy importante esa relación de un fútbol, de un equipo profesional como Southampton, ¿no? De la Premier League, que es la liga quizás más importante del mundo actualmente, pues que se ofrezca a colaborar con un colegio en África. Yo creo que es importante, ¿no? Para la ciudad y para el fútbol de Kenia, ¿no? Creo que se necesitan más colaboraciones de este tipo para que todos mejoren, ¿no? y tengan esa capacidad de progresar por esa aportación, esa experiencia que cada una de las partes aporta a este, yo creo que bonito proyecto, y esperemos que se consolide aquí en Nairobi y se pueda extender a otras partes de Kenia.
Yeah, so he feels that all three parts here, so the players, Nairobi Jaffrey Academy, and Southampton, they all have benefits from this collaboration. And he feels that for the players, having a club like Southampton playing in the Premier League, which is the biggest and strongest of all the leagues, gives an extra motivation to them to become the best version of themselves as well. He feels having an important club like Southampton here also benefits Nairobi and Kenya. It would attract more attention to football and development, motivate players, and hopefully we can consolidate that here and gradually extend it beyond Nairobi into the rest of Kenya as well.
Well, thank you. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
speaking to us. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you y gracias por la aportación, por darle visibilidad a este proyecto, porque para nosotros también es importante que personas como vosotros o grupos den esa visibilidad a este tipo de proyecto, porque es importante para progresar.
Yeah, so he also thanks you for the visibility that you're giving to the project, because that's also important for the development of the players and the club, etc.
Okay, thank you. And I think I'm going to learn Spanish. It sounds so nice.
Muchas gracias. De nada. You're welcome, de nada.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on Radull Live.
Okay.
So now I am with Brian Aswani. Brian is a coach at Nairobi Jaffrey's Academy. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing well,
Welcome to Radull Live.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, how valuable is this partnership that Nairobi Jaffrey's has with Southampton for you as a coach?
For me, I think the impact should be first getting introduced to the Southampton way of coaching, the values that stand in terms of them developing young players, being a very good club which is really recognized based on talent development. So I think being aware of the ways how to coach young players, because this week we had a theory session, we knew about the Southampton way, the ways of coaching, planning the sessions, just getting a deep understanding of the needs of coaching in terms of young players, because the players we're working with at the moment are 13, 14, 15, 16. No, the players we have, there's no player who's turned 17. So it's a very good stage for development.
And it's different coaching young people and
yeah,
older
it's
people.
different coaching at the same time, young people and old players. So it's a good thing for them. At the same time, it's a good thing for us to just know the nitty-gritties of how to coach them.
What is it like working under Manolo? The Manolo who coached, assistant coach Real Madrid, the players he's worked with.
Yeah, so
what has that been like for the last couple of months?
For me, the first time I think I knew that I'm going to work with him, at first I was shocked because I really didn't see myself.
Pinch yourself.
Yeah. I wasn't so sure even how I'd do it. Then there was at the same time there was the language barrier that comes with it. So
that's a challenge.
Yeah, there's a challenge at the same time, but I would say it's been a great experience for me. He's a good man who knows how to plan sessions. So knowing the planning part of it is really, really essential. The demanding part of it for a coach who's come from an elite level, coaching Quaresma, Cristiano.
Imagine.
Yeah. So
to Nairobi.
To Nairobi. It's something I didn't say.
Are you learning Spanish?
Yeah, I'm learning Spanish. Small thing, players, jugadores, cuatro numbers. So I'm getting to know it slowly.
In your experience, the level of talent you have at Jaffrey's Academy, how would you rate it? As in, can we find the next big African footballer from Nairobi from Jaffrey's?
I would say in 3 years' time, yes, because it's a process. It's the foundation phase of it. As long as we start it properly, it's really, really better for us, because we'll start attracting players from 13, 14, 15, 16 who are good players at a young age. So nurturing them within that stage of time, within say 4 years. In 4 years, I believe we could produce the next player here. For them, most of them dream to play like Wanyama at Southampton. I think it's a very good dream for them. We don't know how, but sometimes football, there's talent and there's luck, so we play in both ways.
And you, the team at Jaffrey's, with this partnership with Southampton, you're giving them the right foundation they need to dream.
To dream,
Yeah.
Because everyone dreams, so it's not bad to dream as long as you have the right mindset to chase it. I think with them, we're kind of trying to get them there, to have the right mindset to chase their dreams in the right way, in a positive way.
Well, all the best.
Thank you.
All the best. Thanks for being on Radull Live. Thanks for making me do this story. I've loved it. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That has been Radull live from Wadi Degla in Kiambu. I hope you'll join us again next week for another story.